This is a river pathway. It belongs to everybody, and it needs to be maintained as a public right of way. It's an integral part of the community of Frome. It's been used for many years, and it would be such a tragedy if we lost it.
We are extremely concerned that this pathway, which I've walked for years with a dog and a child, and we know people have been walking here for 40 years or so, and it's not unfair to think that people have been walking here for hundreds of years because it's a long and busy riverbank in Frome. So we're trying to ensure that the right of way and the public footpath remain so that we can continue to use this footpath for centuries to come.
It's a really important area for wildlife and also for natural flood management, because this area is part of the natural floodplain of the River Frome, and it's the only surviving area of marsh and wetland left in the floodplain in that area. So it floods in winter, or it floods when the river's high. It's vegetated by lots of different plants that like having their feet in wet ground and water. Because there's such a diversity of plant life in that little floodplain marsh, it'll be the habitat for lots of interesting insects, moths like the scarlet tiger moth, for example, whose caterpillars feed on comfrey, for example. So yes, this is a really important place for wildlife, one of the top places in Frome, really.
Frome Town Council unanimously backed the idea of this being a footpath, being registered officially as a public footpath, and they support everything that we're doing. I'd like Mendip Planning Committee to realise that here is a proper path. We're not asking for a motorway path, we just want access through here. There's lots of new houses, lots of new estates, and they need a link, a peaceful link to the centre of town.
Basically I've been fishing down here since I was about 8, and yeah, it'd be a shame to lose it really. It's a nice area, the kids come down here in the summer. I bring all the kids down here on a walk, so it'd be a shame to lose all that just for a few houses.
Well, we've got documentary evidence that people have been walking this footpath for at least 40 years down here. We've got many statements from individuals, we've got some documentary records. So I think the legal position is that it is therefore de facto right of way. It needs to be recognised as such, and we've set in motion the process with Somerset County Council to do that. It's a very long-winded bureaucratic process, and it would be much easier for everyone, I think, if Mendip could actually make a decision to encourage the landowners to register this as a proper right of way. We have a 10-year strategy for the river to enhance and preserve its natural character, to allow greater public access to it, but also at the same time to take really great care of its ecological quality. There have been 3 instances of pollution in the last 3 months, which are really distressing. So we think the whole town is behind us in wanting to make the most of the River Frome. This particular path, I think, is quite important because it's the missing link in a river trail that would go all the way from Spring Gardens to Blatchbridge, a lovely 6-mile walk right through the centre of the town. It's just about right of access so that people can continue just to come down here as they always have done and enjoy the natural landscape.